I just got Glass on 4K and Blu-ray in the mail today, so I'm super excited to dive into this and talk about it. Yes! It is here! Glass! I love that 4K Ultra HD cover. I mean, I love it. I love this design here. Like, ooh, like when you touch it, it has like that 3D feel, like the broken glass around right into Samuel L. Jackson's face right there. Nice and shiny on the back. Oh my gosh, I so cannot wait to dive into this movie. And then there's a clear plastic thing here, which, oh my gosh. Okay, so we get our choice of cover here. So there's Samuel L. Jackson, or we could do, oh my gosh, it's like all stuck together, but that's cool. So there's everybody there together, and so that's a really cool looking design. Can I get these things unstuck one-handed? It is so hard to run a camera with one hand. So it turns out I couldn't separate them because they were in plastic, so I get to choose my cover. Look, I could put Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, that's nice. That is just really cool looking. And that is, oh my gosh, I don't know which I want to use first as my cover. All three of those things look incredibly cool, but I love the fact that I could pick any one of those and put them in that. So that is just so cool. Altogether, that is just one slick packaging for this 4K Blu-ray. I cannot wait to dive into this and check out these special features. Well, there it is. I thought the cover of this was pretty cool. It is cool that you can pull out these little cards and kind of pick your own cover. The thing that's kind of hard about it, though, is you have these other two cards in here, and once you put the plastic back on, it is really, really hard to, get the cards back in there and all that stuff. But I will say, I mean, just look at this. You have Samuel L. Jackson as Mr. Glass here, and, Mr. Glass there on the back. You have David Dunn is the overseer, which is so cool. And then you have James McAvoy, and on the back, the Beast, and all the personalities listed. So I actually think the card thing is really cool. It is just a little bit of a pain to stick these three in here and pick what you want through the plastic wrap, but that's okay. It's like, that's such a minor thing. Who cares? Well, when I was going through, first off, it was just fun to re-watch Glass. I think Glass is such a good movie. Really enjoyed it. But when I was going through and looking at the special features, there really weren't too many that jumped out at me. Like, they're not bad special features, and if you love going through special features, there's still plenty of stuff to look at, but they didn't really strike me as anything spectacular or anything like that. I think my two favorite sets of special features were they have an alternate opening scene and their deleted scenes. Now, the alternate opening scene is actually kind of cool because instead of the movie opening with what we saw on the big screen where you got the guy with that super punch jumping and knocking out that other guy, it actually opened in the asylum and they're preparing the rooms for the arrival of David and, the Beast and all that. So it's really kind of ominous to see them setting up all the 24 different toothbrushes and stuff like that for the different personalities inside of Kevin's mind. And it's really cool to see them, putting together David Dunn's room. So it's like kind of ominous and it gives it that kind of ominous feel. I like how we actually got it on the big screen, though. The theatrical cut is just fine. But it is kind of curious just to see what they were going to open it with. And if you turn on M. Night Shyamalan's introduction at the beginning, then, he talks a little bit about the reasoning behind that scene, the reasoning why they cut it and made it what it was. So it's actually kind of interesting. The deleted scenes are the other part that was interesting, not the scenes themselves. Like, some of the scenes they deleted were just utterly, I'm glad they were deleted because they served absolutely nothing. But what's interesting is when you go through those deleted scenes, but you turn on the introduction that M. Night Shyamalan does to each scene, it's cool to hear his thought process behind the scene and why he thought that, this scene was important, why he was sad to see this scene meet the cutting floor. One of the scenes that was deleted that was kind of interesting to me is the scene where you have all the mental patients, pretty much worship the Beast, and the Beast acting like an evangelist or Messiah type character. As they come up, he'd lay his hands on their head and, bless them. I don't know, that was kind of an interesting thing. Something else that was kind of interesting, and I never would have known this without M. Night Shyamalan's commentary, because there's, this deleted scene where, there's this crazy lady who's a patient at the asylum and pointing at Dr. Ellie Staple and, laughing maniacally. It's like, what is that all about? But M. Night's, introduction reveals that this person had a power. And the power is she could look at people and see the truth about them. So she saw Ellie Staple, knew who she was. The scene where the Beast is like, you know, blessing his followers. She's like one of the followers of the Beast because she saw him and saw what he really was. And so that's kind of an interesting thing, except without M. Night Shyamalan doing that introduction, I wouldn't have noticed that. Which is why, if you're going to watch the deleted scenes, it's cool to watch them, but I think it's even cooler to watch them with M. Night Shyamalan's introductions attached to it, because it adds a little bit more to that. The other thing that I thought was interesting, there's this feature like David Dunn versus the Beast. And what was kind of cool about that special feature is they talked about how when they did Unbreakable, nobody else was making all these great big superheroes, but now they're here to Glass, and like once a week, the MCU's releasing a brand new movie. I'm obviously exaggerating, but you get my point. We're always making all kinds of superhero movies right now. When Unbreakable came out, that wasn't the case. And so they're talking about how what they wanted to do different about this one was have it low budget. Like, that's an intentional thing, that this is not a huge high budget superhero film, but even though they're going low budget, it's like, but it's still got to be something that can compete with, you know, a Marvel movie. And so I thought they did a really good job with that balance, and it was kind of cool listening to M. Night Shyamalan comment on that balance and comment on the difference between making Unbreakable 20 years ago and working on Glass now with all these new Marvel movies and stuff coming out all over the place. So it was kind of interesting to dive into that special feature a little bit and listen to that, you know, the line that M. Night Shyamalan was trying to walk in this movie to present it with something different, that the low budget was a strength and not a weakness, and it actually added to the groundedness of it, while at the same time trying to create something that competes with the spectacle that we see all the time. So overall, the special features weren't super impressive to me, but there were all kinds of cool little nuggets in each special feature that I thought, oh, that's kind of cool to learn that and get into that just a little bit. So my question to you is, are you going to get Glass on Blu-ray? Let's talk about that in the comments. While you're there, hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian. Hit the bell by the subscribe button so you're notified for my next Blu-ray special features review, or movie review, theological analysis, ranking video, trailer reaction, or anything else I do here. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.